Don't you think that they need the Champions League's money here? I think so. I think they need that. I think that's a good answer, isn't it?
Very good evening, folks. Welcome to the stream. I said I'll pop on, have a chat with you just to cleanse the head after last night's embarrassing result at Celtic Park. Look, we got to move forward. There's no point sulking about it for weeks upon end. The fact is, we played a team last night that were only in second gear and they comfortably beat us. Simple. We weren't at the standards, and you know, from the goalkeeper to the striker, we just weren't at that level. So taking on the chin, hello to everyone over on Facebook, hello to everyone over on YouTube, hello to the new subscribers over the last couple of weeks as well. And most of all, the subscribers that have been here since the early days, hello to you. Anyone over on Facebook, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. It's the exact same name, Come On The Hoop Celtic. Let me know in the comments what the sound is like as well on the stream, because I want to make sure that the sound is a bit clear, because we do get one or two people that moan saying, oh, the sound's brutal, this and that. And I also decided to root a flag out of the archives as well. This flag, Glasgow's green and white, some cracking players on it, which we'll talk about further in the video, or just because I have a mark on my wall, because I keep rubbing my chair off my wall and it keeps leaving scrape marks. So I'm going to cover it over before I give it a nice old paint. So we have loads to talk about tonight. What I will say is, we're all Celtic supporters. Regardless what your politics is on the board, or if you're anti-board or anti-establishment, if you're labelled in that way by Ross Desmond, or you're pissed off at certain fans throwing tennis balls onto the pitch, or you're pissed off at Martin O'Neill's remarks, or agree with Martin O'Neill's remarks, the most important thing is we're all fucking Celtic supporters. So there's no point of bitching at each other. There's no point moaning at each other. The fact is, we're in this situation. We're third in the league. We have a game in hand. We have to play a difficult set of games coming up. How's it going, Kaiser? What's happening, my friend? Long time no speak. The showstopper himself. Hope you're doing well. I'm going to come on and have a chat. You know what I'm like, folks. I just say it as it is. There's no fucking filter with me. You know, if you don't like me, you don't like me. You do. Simple as. I'm not going to fucking lose sleep tonight because someone in the comments doesn't like me. Simple. You know, we're going to talk about everything in discussion. And there will be things I agree with in certain comments, and there will be stuff I disagree with. But we're all Celtic fans. Just remember that. We all love the same cause. I do miss this guy, to be honest with you. When I put this flag up here on the wall, I was fucking nearly crying looking at it. I was like, Maeda. You got like Callum McGregor, Jota, Maeda, even Owen, Craig Taylor, Aaron Moy, Ali Johnston, Carter Vickers. Some team that was a treble winning team, folks. Well, this is the problem. Fans expect trebles every fucking season because you hit that bar and they think that you can just maintain that bar. It's not that easy, folks, in modern day football to win trebles all the time. Just remember that. We had a great spell in 2016 up to 2020 of winning 4 trebles in a row. But we're going to make sure where everyone's from. Please get your comments in. If I miss your comment, just copy and paste and send it again. Just send it again, and I guarantee you I will read it out. All right? So, Ado, first of all, how are you getting on? I hope you're doing well, Ado. Good to see you in last night. Really appreciate you coming in. How's it going, Kathleen? Again, you were in last night. Thank you very much. Stuart, how are you getting on, Stuart? Great picture of, is that Mr. fucking McTominay? McTominay, great picture as well against Kasper Schmeichel. We'll talk about a lot about him tonight. I'm disgusted with the fans should be booing a single player. Kasper isn't at his best this year. So why is the chap finding it hard? Just leave him alone. The chap is finding it hard. Well, we're going to talk about Kasper on the Celtic 155. We're going to talk about him in a lot of depth tonight because obviously he's been the talking point over the last 24 hours. Even in recent times, these performances where they haven't been up to the level, you know. Keith, the way the fans have been treated is nothing short of disgusting. Brian Wilson is a puppet for Desmond. The fans have had enough now. We'll talk about that statement as well. We're going to read that out as well. That was issued at 6:30 today. I'm not forgetting about that. You know, I'm one of these people. Sometimes I don't prep stuff. I just go by what's on the tongue. Simple as it is. Kaiser, 100% Keith. It's time to pull in one direction. Support the team to the full. That's it. Like, you have a stadium there. It's up to you as if you want to sit in your seat or buy tickets and support your team. It's up to you. It's up to you to start singing Celtic songs, start getting behind the team. Because if the negativity is in the crowd, it's going to feel onto the pitch. And if the players don't get that motivation and spirit from their support, home and away, it's going to affect their confidence. It's going to affect them as a player. Even though they're getting paid these big bucks, they need support. They need you behind them. We keep going on about this cliche, back the team. Please back the team. Please back the team. You know? Because, as I said last night on the podcast, there is thousands of people worldwide that would love to be in the position you are if you're a season ticket holder or a position to go to a game. They would kill to do that. And, you know, look at someone says that devastated on dreading Rangers games. Aaron, be positive. Be positive. You know, I don't really know about the whole the name and the picture, but look at, we'll leave you to it anyway. I'm not dreading the Rangers games because we have it in our locker to beat Rangers. Yes, in recent times they've been a better team in the league. They've come to Celtic Park and beaten us a couple of times, but we have a chance to go to Ibrox on 2 different occasions within a week and beat them in the league, make some momentum in the league, build some momentum, and knock them out of the cup as well, which would be important. Just 2 seconds, folks. The usual shit. Just 2 seconds. Good night, Mick. Good night. Jesus, early enough. Early enough on a Friday night to be going to bed. It's only half. It's only half 9. Stay up a little bit later. Enjoy the podcast. Rogers couldn't solve with Nancy. No, Martin is not the manager. It's fucking some players that don't deserve in the squad. Look, we have to do what we have. We have to deal with what we have. Yeah, they have a chance to beat us. Of course they have a chance to beat us. But we're playing them in their backyard. And if we can turn up and play to air levels, which has been very rare this season, to 5th gear, we can knock them out and beat them in the league. Stop doubting your team. Like, if you're a Celtic supporter, why are you coming onto the channel and completely writing your team off? That's not the mentality to have. It's not the mentality to have. I can't be arsed with comments like that tonight, to be honest, saying, oh, I'm dreading Rangers games. Oh, I'm dreading this. Oh, I'm dreading that. Oh, I'm feeling like this. Fucking go on to Super Scoreboard and have a moan. Go on to Go Radio and have a moan. You know? We can still win this. Yes, it's an average Celtic side. We can still win it. But what needs to be done, first of all, is change the keeper. Change the keeper. Kasper Schmeichel needs to be dropped because he is jeopardizing his Celtic career for his international career, because he gets a hall pass playing for Denmark because he's like being capped 120 times for his country. He's holding off and trying. He has it. There's obviously reports going around and rumors going around that he has a dodgy left shoulder, and he's been getting injections into that shoulder, to be honest. So don't know how accurate it is, but it's the word on the street, and we don't always believe the word on the street. But I'm gonna put this up for a minute, right? I want to show you this. It's the league is to win this league. It's bigger than ever now. Not because of the position we're in. It's what you get if you win the league this year. And this is what, because of Celtic failing, because of Rangers failing, because of other Scottish teams failing in Europe in recent times with the coefficient, this is what we're left with. So last season, when you won the league, you got a playoff round, which we failed in against Almaty. We all know that. Now this year, if you win the league, you will get a Champions League second round qualifier. So that means you'll have to play 6 games to get into the Champions League. 6 games, folks, if we win the league. Now, if we finish runners-up, there's no Europa League like the past for 3rd place or 4th place. The reason why this is like this is because the coefficient has dropped from 14th to 18th place, Scotland's coefficient for next season. And look at this. If whoever finishes second, on the right-hand side, folks, will get Conference League second round qualification. So look at the incentive financially for Celtic Football Club. They need to win this league. If they don't win this league, this is really going to rattle a lot of fans. And the fans that are winging it week in, week out, the fans that are not thinking into the whole, a portion of the fans versus the board, they're just thinking of the games. And I can understand that. But this is bigger than ever. This is bigger than ever. You win the Scottish Cup, you get Europa League qualification round 1. Like, how much has Scottish football fallen in recent times, the coefficient, there it is there. There it is there. So if we finish 3rd place, it's like finishing 2nd place, because look at the both 2nd and 3rd are going to be in Conference League qualification round 2. So we have to win this. To be honest, I'm going to be straight with you. I'm going to say it as it is, and this is not me being negative. This is me being out straight with you. Just let me just take this picture off the screen. If we win the league, am I confident that we're going to get into the Champions League by being in the 2nd round qualification next season, in pre-season or next season, you want to call it? No, I'm not, because there's a big, massive overhaul of duds and deadwood you have to get rid of. You have to recruit a manager. You need to change the position up the top as well. We need to restructure the whole board setting as well. It's a fucking shambles for next season, folks. You think this is bad? This could be even worse next season. We've just seen it on the screen there. And that's not me being fucking negative Nancy in any shape or form. That's me being honest with you. We win the league, we are playing. We're going to have to play a 2nd round qualifier. And we're not guaranteed that we'd even get into Conference League football with that. So it's a lot to ask for the players. The money, the Champions League money, when you on trophy day is not there anymore, folks. Champions League team music won't be there, because you have to fucking play the nitty and gritty. And this is what's happened. When you don't prep, when you don't qualify for the Champions League, what like Almaty has done, this is what happens. You drop down the coefficient, and Scottish football suffers from it. Especially Celtic fans are going to suffer from it as well. But look, we've been in this position before in the past where we had to play so many qualifiers to get through. I remember we had to play Cliftonville in the qualifier a couple of years back, was it 10, 15 years ago? So the Irish teams sabotaged the Scottish League. What do you mean the Irish team? What are you talking about? What are you doing? Get off my channel. You're talking absolute load of mince. You done this last night as well. Get off my channel. Do my nutting you do. What's the point of getting any money that goes straight into the board's pockets? You're completely right. To be honest with you, there hasn't been enough serious investment into the squads. So just copy Bodo Glimt. I knew someone was going to bring it up. Look at Bodo Glimt. I said this last night. Beat Inter Milan the other night. Beat Atletico Madrid a couple of weeks ago, and we were linked with that striker as well, a guy we could have had. 2013, I think JB, he was on the bus with Sammy and Stokesy. That's correct. And then the home toy was obviously quite emotional. God rest his soul. Oscar Knox as well walked out with the Celtic team, and just that iconic picture of him hugging Hoopy as well. So just my thoughts and prayers are with the Knox family. I know that was a long time ago, but it might feel like yesterday to them because they'll always remember young Oscar as well. So my thoughts and prayers are with the Knox family, because I'm sure I'm sure every day is a struggle. So to lose someone with illness like that, I'd say it's heartbreaking. So, it's just, anyways, we'll move on. European football just hampers our domestic games. It's just been a distraction, to be honest. And I said it last night, like, we didn't need the Europa League, because let's be honest, we don't have the squad to go and say, oh, we're going to go on and win this. I think sometimes Celtic fans think too much over the hills and think that we're bigger than we are when it comes to European football. Folks, we had a good run in Europe last year with the new format, the Champions League. It didn't mean that we were going to have the same outcome in the Europa League. To be honest with you, I think we actually overachieved in the Europa League this season by getting the result against Graz and doing well over in Bologna, winning in Feyenoord and stuff like that. I just thought we overachieved for the squad that have been absolutely, dire at times, dire. And I hate saying that. I really do hate saying that about our team, but Europa League was never our focus. With a lot of fans, as soon as we got into as soon as we failed in that Champions League, a lot of people were disinterested about the Europa League campaign. Let's be honest with ourselves. It was always about the bread and butter of winning the league. It's a good question, Terminator. Do you think we'd have a chance of winning the Conference League? To be honest with you, with that squad, no, I don't think so. I think the Conference League still always has a few decent teams in it. I just think Celtic need to build that mentality of teams dreading playing us at Celtic Park. Teams don't dread it anymore. They actually don't dread it. So that's me being brutally honest. I just don't think we have a squad to win the Conference League. Because we're Celtic Football Club, we have 60,000 seat stadium, because we won the European Cup in the past, doesn't mean that Celtic are in the Conference League, they have a really good show. Nah, doesn't work like that. Just don't have the team. If you ask me about Ange's team, maybe if you had still Ange in charge with this crop of players, with, say, still had Aaron Moy, who say he was a few years younger. If you had the way the form he's in recent times, playing for Besiktas. Is it Besiktas, I think? Moyeda, who actually cared. Atate, who cared. Jota fit. Johnston fit. Taylor still there. Maybe Tierney as well, added on to it. Kyogo probably would have a chance of winning it. But, well, Chelsea won the Conference League last year. They did, yeah. I question Martin O'Neill's judgment by playing a player that's injured. Look, we're going to talk about Kasper Schmeichel in bigger depth tonight. The guy that's frustrated a lot of Celtic fans in recent times. He has played 87 for the club, and there he is. There he is there. So this picture here, this picture was back in April last year, when he picked up the injury for Denmark on international duty. Right now, Sinisalo played in goal for him. In that time, he was out for 6 weeks. Well, 5 weeks, actually. And Sinisalo wasn't bad in goal. He wasn't bad. And I think we need to play Sinisalo on Sunday. We can't keep making these errors. It's going to catch up on us. Yes, we crawled back against Kilmarnock last Sunday by the skin of our teeth. Well, we're literally scraping through games, and we're meant to be champions of Scotland. Isn't good enough. I'm not expecting Celtic to go out and win 3 or 4-0 every game, but we're scraping through games, and it's down to errors from our defence, from our keeper. We have a keeper that can't even fucking dive on his left side. It's embarrassing. The goals we conceded last night were absolutely atrocious, and it's down to the defence as well. It's a team effort, and if you're letting a team from the Bundesliga, who are in second gear, which was man versus boys last night. I hate saying that title, but it really was. In our own fucking stomping ground, it just shows we're well off it. And I know someone's just said to me, would we win the Conference League? Not a chance. We're not an established team in Europe anymore. Facts is, some players ain't good enough for Celtic. and Celtic ain't good enough to compete in the Europa League. Simple as. So we need to fix our own domestic issues first before we can think of Europe. And see, Thursday night, just write it off. Just write it off. I know some people will take Thursday night serious. Some people have that small glimmer of hope that we can get through. I don't want to fucking get through. Even if we were to pull it back, I don't want to get through. We have some serious games coming up that are more important than the fucking Europa League. Look at them fixtures, folks. Hibs on Sunday, Stuttgart, write that off, and then 3 days later, we're at Ibrox. So if Martin O'Neill, which he is a fantastic manager, has a bit of common sense, which I believe he will rest some players on Thursday night. I'd be starting Donovan. I'd start Srirachi. I'd be putting Dane Murray in, put Arthur in, play Doolan in goal. He's going to start McGregor. For a fact he is. Play Bernardo, play McKeown, play Forrest, play Balikwisha if he's in this. I don't know if he's in the Europa League squad, to be honest. And play Adum up front, Junior. Make changes because this game at Ibrox next week is more important than Stuttgart. Let's be honest with ourselves. You know, there's no point of fucking trying to chase every avenue, burn our players out for a difficult, hostile trip to Ibrox. I think for the Ibrox game, the first game, we have 3,500 fans in the away allocation, and then we'll get the full broom long for the cup game the following week. So let's have a look at the comments. 42 people tuning in tonight. Please subscribe to the channel. Anyone over on Facebook, subscribe to the channel. Even give me a thumbs up on the video on Facebook, and I'll call you out because I can see it on the StreamYard as well. So thank you very much, Billy White, for the thumbs up, and Anne Boyle as well. Let's see what people are saying. Edward says we need a massive clear out in summer. I get this thrown at me all the time. Iheanacho is on 30 grand a week. Iheanacho. Tierney's on 50 grand. McGregor's on around 40 grand. Carter Vickers is on 37 grand. So we have Balikwisha. I think Balikwisha is on about 16 grand. Like the wage bill, the amount of dead wages is ridiculous on that wage bill. And it's going to be difficult to shift these players, folks, because some of them are in contract for another 2 or 3 years. Atate is 2 years left in his contract. So how much is it Rio Atate actually worth? I'll let you comment below, and we'll agree or disagree. So we have so many loan players, there is no option but to clear out. Exactly. And some people were defending the board on this and saying, well, we brought players in on loan because we didn't have a permanent manager in place and all this stuff. I understand that case, but at the same time, we're bringing players in that fucking haven't kicked the ball, or they haven't been comprehensive, or they're just literally being fucking bench warmers for their clubs. I know it's a new chapter for them, and you want to get behind these players and you want them to be successful at Celtic, but I think it's poor recruitment. I think Tam didn't play great last night. Check Tam. I think he's been all right so far. You know, Mavuka, question mark over him, question mark over the guy Arthur that hasn't played, the one from Brentford. You know, Junior Adum, he scored 1 goal so far. You know, question mark over his ability. You know, Arajo, he's been excellent since we got him from Bournemouth, and I hope we get him in a permanent deal as well. But it's just a mess. It's just been a mess this season, and you can't hide away from it. As much as you want to be positive, it's hard. Could you imagine Brendan Rodgers still in charge at this stage if he didn't resign? I don't think he would have been in charge anyway to this window, to be got on the street with your CFC fan 188. I think he would have just, you know, he didn't have intentions to leave, and he wanted to see out his contract. But there was too much going on the back with him and the board. He wasn't getting backed, simple as, and the truth is, regardless if you don't like you like Brendan Rodgers or not, yeah, it looked like he maybe just gave up on the job before he got the boot, which we got absolutely hammered at Tynecastle, and then he was relieved of his duties. There was stuff going on in the background, which will eventually come out. Like, no one's heard the Rodgers side. We've all heard the Dermot Desmond statement, but no one's ever heard the Rodgers side of it. And I'm not going to come on and be pickle for Brendan Rodgers in any shape or form. Yes, he was his responsibility to put out what he had fit to do a job, and he couldn't get reaction out of them players. So do I think he gave up after Almaty? I'd say 75% of Brendan Rodgers did, to be God honest truth. I think he was just taking the wage and, you know, having that back and forth in press conferences, trying to have digs at the boards. And some of it he's right to do. Not give up on the team, but give digs back at the boards. Martin O'Neill's only 3 months left. Still no word of the next manager. I think they'll be recruiting in the background, to be honest with you, Jimbo. And hello to you as well, Jimbo. I think they will be recruiting to get a manager in. We're gonna look at managers as well while we're on this. That was where you're tuning in from as well, folks. As I said, I just came on this tonight to chat, which is trying to move forward. Let's not moan and narc too much about what happened last night. The fact is, we were beaten comfortably, and there was not enough fight in that team. Martindale, imagine Martindale. Oh Jesus, Lennon wouldn't touch him, would not touch him. No, thank you. Let's be real, Keith. O'Neill said he was happy because I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna mean this, and a lot of people will raise their eyebrows. I just think Martin O'Neill's a yes man because he's getting paid to be in here to the end of the season. I don't think he has that aggression and spine that he had 20 years ago, or maybe 15 years ago. I think he's just trying to keep the board happy, trying to keep the fans happy, bit of a mediation there. That's what I think what's going on. I think he's paid to say, yeah, I'm happy with the signings, even though they could be fucking duds by the end of the season. You know, time will tell. Did he not just take a job recently? But let's talk about the manager, potential managers that were linked, with people that were linked to it. Now, bet responsibly before I go on and start chatting. Martinez 7-4, Motherwell manager Jens 9-2, Martin O'Neill is 6-1 to take it next season. Robbie Keane's 10-1, but obviously he's been linked with the Spurs job. Sean Maloney's 10-1. Graham Potter, was he not the manager of Sweden? Still the manager of Sweden? Steve Clark, no, thank you. I wouldn't go near Steve Clark. Craig Bellamy, one of mine, and ruled himself out of job realistically. Thomas Frank, you know what? I wouldn't mind Thomas Frank, even though he had a shit time at Spurs. If you go back to videos of 2020, me talking about Thomas Frank, I was a big admirer of Thomas Frank, and I still believe he done well at Brentford. You know, established Brentford in the Premier League. And you know what? He might take Christopher Royer up the road. Christopher Royer might do a job. Would you rather Christopher Royer or Austin Trusty? Or Christopher Royer or Liam Scales? I wouldn't go near. Nunes, it's about, as I've said this so many times in the channel, and I'm gonna sound like I'm repeating myself. I don't know if you can hear the alarm going off in the background there on the road or something like that. Sean Dyche, I like Sean Dyche. I wouldn't mind Sean Dyche. I think he's a bit of a hard man. I think he'd do good. Who's your number one? My number one's not even on the list. Knutson. So I'd go for Knutson. You get no success with Knutson, you go for Martinez. You don't get Martinez, you go for the Motherwell manager. There's my 3 picks. And then my 4th pick would be Bellamy. I know, Jimbo, you're saying the Copenhagen manager, not a bad manager. Irish drunk every time he jumped. good right back, though. I'll tell you one thing about Christopher Royer. As much as people didn't like him at times, he wasn't afraid to get stuck in, and he wasn't afraid to take the ball up the pitch as well. Not like this is what we're missing. We're missing that drive from players to be afraid to take players on. Look at Araujo last night. He took about four or five players on, pushed up, and that's what we need. Nicky Hayden, that's the Belgium guy, innit? That was managing at Bruges, and he's I think he's at to get a job at Stade Liège or something. Yeah. I hope we win the league. I just don't know. I just honestly, Rob Terminator saying Robbie Keane's mine. At the end of the day, right, Terminator, people will agree and disagree in the comments who they want as the next manager. I wouldn't mind Robbie Keane. I wouldn't be opposed to Robbie Keane, even though Robbie Keane did manage in Israel, which a lot of people leaves a bad taste in their mouth. But Robbie Keane is doing well. Yes, fair enough. Ferencváros were beaten last night by Lucarets of Bulgaria. He's won titles everywhere he's gone. He's played at big clubs. He's played at Celtic. He knows what the crack is. I won't be completely against Robbie Keane, to be honest. But he'd probably be fifth choice on my list. That's the God honest truth. I don't know much about the Michelin manager, to be honest with you. Let me have a look. Michelin's. Let me see. Let me have a look at this manager that he's got. By the way, if you're ever looking for the best app for football scores or stats or anything regards to football, this app, FotMob, I came across it one day on YouTube, and I have to say, it's better than Live Score, it's better than SofaScore, it's better than Transfer Market. It's really good. Right, where's the manager? Where's this bleeding manager? Need to find him. Where is he? Where is he hiding? Need to find him. Like Michelin, they're a decent team. And these are the different managers that they've had. Let me see. This must be him here. So, Michelin, he's been there since 2025. He's 26 matches, 18 wins, 4 draws, 4 losses, which isn't bad. 69% win ratio. He's managed Borussia Dortmund's second team. I'm not trying to be smart here, and I know he's doing pretty well this season, but no. I would actually rather Jens from Motherwell. I know Michelin destroyed us in the Europa League, and they've done well in the Europa League, but I'd rather someone that's knows the league now. And I like the way that Jens speaks. I like the way he lines up his team. I like his ethos of football. I would, to be honest with you, when it was, it doesn't matter if you played for Hearts or not. I think sometimes people need to just lay back on that stuff. Only CVs play for Hearts. We've signed players from Hearts in the past. Hartley, Presley, Would you take the Motherwell manager? Of course I would. Natalie Jens all day. I would. I'm opening up to it. Like, I think looking at it, he would be my third choice if you're going down the road. Like, I think it would be go for Knutson. Don't get anywhere with Knutson. McKenna should be even in this discussion. He's pushing for Ipswich to be promoted. Martinez, because you'll have Sean Maloney in the background working with Martinez, which he done at Belgium, and he done at Belgium, and he done at Wigan, I think, as well. So let's have a look. Let's look at the Motherwell's manager's experience. Obviously, he was a number 2 in Copenhagen as well. Let's see. It's not on the screen. Let's just kick this out. How do you know? Like, some managers, you think all the big managers can handle pressure at Celtic, and they might not. Like, Celtic is a hard gig. It's a hard gig. And better chance of getting Klopp than Knutson. Klopp is going to Real Madrid, to be honest. Maloney has failed in his audition. I wouldn't say he's failed. If they win the league, he wouldn't say he's failed. Keith Legend, Deborah always says. Cheers, Deborah. Really appreciate it. Right, let's have a look. I think we're all in agreement that Schmeichel needs to be dropped for Sunday. So this will be my third choice, right? He's done well with Motherwell. So 54% win ratio he has so far. There's your 35 games, 19 wins, 11 draws, 5 defeats so far. That is a manager that's making a statement in Scottish football. And I think I'd be in for Jens. I think, you know what? Try with Knutson. Knutson doesn't touch us. Go for Martinez. Doesn't touch us. Approach this guy. I think more likely the board are going to go for this guy anyway, because it's a cheap option, to be God honest truth with you. And I feel sorry for any manager that takes the job to have to deal with that board, because they will promise you the sun and the stars and they don't deliver them sun and stars. And then whoever takes that job, as I said earlier on, this is what you're going to be dealing with. You're going to be dealing with seeing who's right for your system. See, are you guaranteed promises of getting players in, clearing out the deadwood, you know. And we need to stop buying over the hills goalkeepers. We got lucky with Joe Hart, but even he was past his best. I completely agree. Like, look at Joe Hart. Joe Hart got Celtic, and Schmeichel did get Celtic last season as well. But it's just Schmeichel. I'm going to show you something, right, folks? Now, this is going to be an eye opener to you, right? I hope I don't get done for copyright. I seen this on Instagram earlier on, and I'm going to show you this.
I think we'll be disappointed because they've got us close. Can you get your body in front of it? Arnie Engels comes too far.
The opportunity from range and finding the corner. One high up the field by Stuttgart and scoring. It go levelling. Oh, and he finds a way.
Well, there you go, folks. There you go. Looking at that video of all the mistakes he has done, it's not looking good. It breaks me heart watching that, because he's been a really good goalkeeper in his career, but he's just stuffed. He's rattled with the shoulder injury, and he shouldn't be playing games. We have Sinisalo, who's played 13 games for Celtic, and we should be playing him in goal. And some people are moaning, oh, Sinisalo, he was brutal against Livy, blah, blah, blah. Fucking who cares? Sometimes, keepers can't always be perfect on the day, but this is consistent wrongdoing from Kasper Schmeichel. Like, how is he? Like, this is beyond, this makes me, that's boiled me blood. I had to show you that. I hope I don't get done for copyright for that, but, like, he's averaged this season, right? 7.3. He's had 12 clean sheets. He's conceded 24 goals in 25 games. That isn't good enough. That isn't good enough this season. Like, look at his performances. Look at this. Look at this, folks. Look at the screen. This is Kasper Schmeichel's performances in recent times. It's just absolutely brutal. 2 seconds. Like, how can you defend that? Yeah, he had a good game against Falkirk, which he kept a clean sheet. And then he had a good game against Falkirk, his former club. But look at them performances, folks. Stuttgart, 3.3. Come on. Like, he has to be dropped. He has to be dropped. There's no doubt about it. Worse than Barkas, you reckon? Oh, it's a hard one to say. I really... See, the difference is Barkas wasn't 40 years of age with a shoulder injury. Barkas just was absolutely brutal. Absolutely brutal. I just think age is hitting Kasper. I think fitness is hitting Kasper. I think injuries is hitting Kasper. I just think he's well past it. We shouldn't be playing him. Simple. I don't think he's worse than Barkas. And I know he's conceded some brutal goals, you know. I would have Papadom close. Worse than Scott Bain. Scott Bain done all right. Someone sent me a YouTube clip of the goalie's best moments. Wish he had still had the best in his sticks. Well, speaking of goalies, I just want to give a massive happy birthday to one of the best goalkeepers Celtic's ever had, which is Artur Boric. It was his birthday today, so I'm just gonna play about 10 seconds of this clip. I had to knock it off before I get done for copyright, but yeah, play Sinisalo. He's been good for Falkirk, Scott Bain. He really has been good. So starting lineup for Sunday. Let's have a look. He was enjoying that's the clip. Yeah, I put up on Come On the Hoops. I ended up getting off. So one of my mates actually sent it to me. It is a good app. Really is a good app. You know, I use it more. Like, I use that in transfer market. Been following your channel for years. Finally decided to comment. Good stuff, Ryan. Thank you very much for your first comment. And look, everyone's more than welcome to comment. If you don't like it, you don't like your stuff. But we can never spend Sinisalo. It's 2 seconds. Oh, Jesus Christ. Bleeding sweating here. Sinisalo, yeah, what the hell? It's bleeding half, is that it? Give it a second anyway. Yeah, like it's yeah. Sinisalo. Am I spelling it wrong? Oh, I am. I'm putting all in instead of Jesus Christ. What an error. What an error. There we are. Where is he? Where's he going? Oh yeah. So he's conceded 2 goals. He's actually that was against Livy. It doesn't even put up his performance against Dundee in there. Wait, his performance against Dundee isn't there. Like, he hasn't played a lot of football, to be honest. 2 games he's played this season. 2 games. Some of the stories I heard about Boric was an absolute nutcase. Oh, he's unbelievable. He was unbelievable. He was one of the best keepers I've ever seen. Them, like, you look at the video today, Celtic brought out the 10 best saves. That save at Easter Road is one of the best saves I've ever seen from a goalkeeper. Like, the way he saved that the volley, the Hibs player just caught the volley sweet, and it was going right in, and then Boric tipped it onto the post, and then The save in the San Siro, that free kick when Seedorf smashed it. Oh, he had an unbelievable performance. We went to extra time against AC Milan. AC Milan actually went on to win the Champions League that year. That was the first. I went to the home tie. That was my first ever Celtic game. But some of the saves he pulled off. The Nacho Novo shot at Ibrox. He's the penalty in the Spartak Moscow, the third round Champions League qualifier to get in. That was before they had the playoff round. But what a guy. What an absolute legend of a guy. But anyways, I'll actually do the starting lineup for tomorrow because I'm going to be on tomorrow. There's no point doing it now. I'm just thinking about it now. I know what my starting lineup would be. It'd be Sinsalo, Arajo, Tierney, Trusty, Scales, considering I don't know much about this Arthur guy. Are they going to stick Murray in against Hibs? Probably not. McGregor. We need a defensive midfielder. This is what's killing us. Like, we're expecting Callum McGregor to just keep taking it box to box. He doesn't have the legs for it. Doesn't have the legs. Was at Old Trafford when Arthur was at his peak. Oh, it was unbelievable. That penalty save against Man U. Zaha as well, the penalty save. Some of the saves he pulled out for Celtic was absolutely unbelievable. Sarachi for defensive midfield. I wouldn't mind Sarachi playing the DM and pushing Callum up. I think someone's already said that on the channel over the last couple of days. I think it was actually Terminator actually said it. Or was it Tommy? I think it was Tommy or Terminator actually said it. If this is your first time tuning into the channel on Facebook, please go over and subscribe. There's only 2 people on Facebook. Fraser Foster was the best I've seen. Now Arthur Boric. Fraser was class. Fraser was unbelievable. The Fraser Foster save against Lazio, that volley in stoppage time, that was some save. And then his performance in the League Cup final as well was unreal. You know, I think we need to think outside the box. We're far too predictable. It's a great point, Jimbo. I 100% agree with you. I think it's too easy to line up against Celtic. You know, there's not enough intensity in this team. Like, there's not enough drive in them at times. Which manager signed Arthur Boric? Gordon Strachan. We got him on loan and then we bought him. We did. I met Arthur Boric the first time I ever went out to Celtic Park. It was actually his birthday that day. It's mad to think, Jesus. So on the February the 20th, 2007 was my first ever Celtic game. My first ever Celtic game. And this was the away jersey of that year as well. And we drew 0-0 to AC Milan in the Champions League at home. I remember it quite well. Always remember the best days of my life. But yeah, done the stadium tour that day and then seen Nakamura in the reception, met Neil Lennon outside before Celtic Way was built. You still had the old I think it was the old ticket office at the school on the right hand side. Jesus, crazy to think. Gravison was a fucking dick. Didn't want to sign me short. Told me to wait. But he was a dickhead, Thomas Gravison. As much as he was a decent player for Celtic, he was just a stuck-up prick, you know. Was it Ipswich, his first game he saved the penalty? I don't know. I can't remember it going back that long. But let's have a look at his stats for Celtic. Throwback memory of Arthur Boric. Let's go for club. So there you go. He only played 139 games for Celtic. Is that all? Surely that can't be right. 139 games for Celtic, Boric played. That can't be right. And that's not right. July 2004. We didn't sign him in July 2004. We signed him in July 2005. 2 seconds. 2 seconds. That's not right. Transfer market. Surely that's not right, folks. That's incorrect stats. We got him on loan, I remember. Artur Boric, the holy goalie. Let's see. Just going to get stats now from Transfer Market. Stats all seasons. I'll get this now. I'm going to put this up on the screen for you. So I hope I'm not boring you tonight. These Fraser Foster against Barcelona. Oh, what a performance that was. Do you think Craig Gordon was good for Celtic? Yeah, I thought Craig Gordon was really good for Celtic. At times, his distribution of the ball was quite poor, but yeah, I thought he was a really good keeper for Celtic. Yeah, I knew that was completely wrong. About Boric. I'm going to share that now. So there you go, folks. Artur Boric actually played 215 games for Celtic. He had 192 clean sheets for Celtic. Wait, was it? No, 83 clean sheets for Celtic and conceded 192 goals. I was like thinking, I was like, there's no way he was that good. 192 goals he conceded for Celtic. That doesn't seem right as well. Over 215 games. Surely that's not right. Jeez, I'm going to dig in more into the stats. But what a keeper. What an absolute keeper. So while we're on this, let's look at the valuation of these players while we're here. Carter Vickers is not valued at 13 million. The guy's been injured. Kasper Schmeichel, 300 grand. Sarachi, 1.5 million on transfer market. Tierney's valued at 8 million, right? Alistair Johnson's valued at 8 million. I would slap about 15 million on Araujo, 10 million. That one, Callum McGregor, 4.5. Engels, 10, which we all know he's a 25 million player now, according to Nottingham Forest and deadline day. Bernardo, 4 million. McCown. Oh, stupid pop-ups. They always come up. Mavuka, 2 million. Get the bow. Days of Maeda, 14 million. Let's have a look at the forward line. Kelechi, 3.8. Stupid bleeding hands. I swear they go through your head. Big Tom, 2.5, even though Borussia Mönchengladbach won 7 for him. Junior, 5 million. Yang, we'll get more than 2.5 million for Yang. And Benji's worth 6.5 million now because he's form. He's peaked. The amount of goals he's already scored. Balaguisha, 5 million. Get the ball, would you? Let's have a look now. Let's have a look. You Benji till 2029, which isn't bad. Just waiting for this screen to load, folks. It's always a bit slow, this website. Takes ages for the load. I swear if I have dial-up broadband the way it is, it's absolutely brutal. I'll just come out of it. Go back onto the main screen. 100%. Sarachi's probably about 6 million player, you know. Listen to BBC Radio. Scotland with Gordon said a lot. What did he say a lot? What did he say about? Craig Gordon's a good keeper. David Marshall against Barcelona in the new camp kept a clean sheet that night. Yeah. That was the away. Was that the home game? Home game, we were unfortunate not to win because we needed one more goal to get through against Batistrava. Listen to me. See any more comments coming through. Keep the comments coming in, folks. Keep them coming in. As I said, if you could subscribe to the channel, it'd be really appreciated. Not many on from Facebook, which is fine, which is absolutely cool. 3 new subscribers. Negrin was terrible again last night. Apart from the goal, him Bernardo were anonymous. 100%. I just think Nygren's playing out of position. I just don't. I think Nygren looks quite effective on the wing at times. Like he played on the wing mostly for Nordjylland. Even though he is left foot, he played mostly on the right wing for Nordjylland. You know, was having a good solid keeper makes defenders better. You need someone with small vocal. I think with Sinisalo, he's a good sweeper keeper. I think you look at Schmeichel's distribution in recent games, like it's been poor. Look against Motherwell, tried to distribute the ball to Ingles, and we end up conceding from it. You know, he's too slow. But yeah, I just think Benji Nygren, like, kind of reminds me of Tom Rogic pace. Not the most sharpest pace, but good with the ball at his feet. Some finisher as well. Like he's had to score 18 goals this season, I think, Nygren. Like that's not bad. Like look, and we were all like boasting about Matt O'Reilly scoring 19 goals a couple of years back, and we sold him for a big dosh. But Matt O'Reilly was like had everything. 17 goals is saying. I don't know if you've updated this. I think it's actually 18 goals altogether. Benji Nygren has in all competitions. 18 goals, because obviously he scored last week as well, and then he scored last night. This is saying 17 goals, but we'll check it out. Well, maybe it is 17 goals actually. Maybe didn't. All he's missing now is a hat-trick. Hat-trick against Hibs, and we're laughing. But look, his valuation's at the skyrocketing. Like his value's at 2. Now he's up to nearly 6 million. He ain't going anywhere. Like he played 107 games. Like his goals to games ratio isn't bad, folks. Like he's not bad at all. It's just I'd rather play him on the wing, to be honest. I know people say Yang or Maeda or Forrest, but I'd rather Benji Nygren playing in that role because he can cut in and smash it off. Similar to what Keown done. You know, he's not the same as Keown. Nowhere near Keown. Keown had the pace. It's amazing. Matt O'Reilly, he was some player. Killed to have him back in the Celtic shorts. Thought Yang was trying last night when he came on. Definitely, I think he looked like he was up for it. Do you think selling Maeda was a mistake, even he looked miles off it? I don't know how he would have been under O'Neill, to be honest. I just think Adam Maeda, when the price tag permanent deal came through, when we bought him from Norwich, just didn't look like the same player that we had on loan that was fighting for a move to Celtic. I just thought he wasn't in it. Even I know players miss penalties, but even the way he stepped up for that penalty over in Kazakhstan just looked like he didn't care. I just think the pressure got to Adam Maeda, and it hasn't really worked out for him down Swansea. The same with Kyogo, like, you know. I think Adam Maeda is actually injured at the moment. I think he's actually injured. He's injured for a couple of months. Check now. Oh Jesus, hamstring injury. Expected return doubtful. He's played 20 games for Swansea, 3 goals. I think 2 of them goals were penalties. He played 57 games for Celtic, 20 goals. That's all for Celtic. Wait, that's incorrect. That's actually incorrect. He's actually scored 29 goals for Celtic in 78 appearances. So yeah. That's Adam Maeda stats. How's Kyogo getting on? Last time I checked, he only had like 3 goals to his name, or 4 goals to his name. 3 goals at Birmingham City. Now the whole Adam Maeda thing, like I just think the price tag got him. Kyogo, 29 games, 3 goals. Look, that's a guy that's never recovered from leaving Celtic. He's struggling at Birmingham. Struggling. I think he went 12 games without a goal. Look, he went around, he thought he was going to get a bigger look at his valuation's just it's gone down. They're saying that his valuation was much higher. He was at one point he was nearly a 7 million player. FOTMob, I don't believe it's valuation. It's just we all enjoyed Kyogo. I know he looked terrible, didn't he? Mivaka did look terrible. Nygren's negatives would be less of a worry if we had more functional players in midfield rather than McGregor. McGregor should not be playing defensive mid. Like everyone says it. He should not be playing the defensive midfielder. He just doesn't suit the role anymore. He doesn't have the legs. I'm just gonna put this on a little break for
it's a red card in this day and age when you slow things down and you put the point of contact and again John Lundstrom's foot's planted right against the side of Alistair Johnston's leg. But what I would say is, had VAR been there, nobody's moaning that that's not a red card. It was a yellow card. There's no doubt about it. So I understand why it's a red card when you see it in real time. Yeah, it's fast.
Kenny,
I always say this: football,
that's
you need
a red
to.
Card,
well,
come on.
Hang fire, James. I've just gave you the reason why I don't think it's a red card.
It's a red card.
It's a yellow card for me. VAR comes in, intervenes, and it's clearly when it slows that down, it's always going to be a.
Football's been giving me so much and something that I've loved and still love doing. And still love doing. But I think with the time frame of the contract up here, having previously from the ages of 31 to 34 football, I didn't feel like I quite fitted in. I still felt like the same goalkeeper, but that's not me feeling sorry for myself. That's how this world works. That's how this beautiful business works. And I didn't really have a place. And now I found a place. I've had 3 years, 2 and 3 quarters of pure joy in being able to express myself and play with the personality that I love to play with on the field, interacting with an amazing football club who've really embraced me. And I thought, you know what? Why look for more? What more is there out there for me? I'm healthy, I'm fit, I'm happy. If I were to go longer, I'd probably be searching. And I searched previously and I found what I wanted, so I wanted to take the opportunity.
It's that moment.
Look, Fraser's got nothing but love for this place. He has done. I'm close with him on and off the field. Supported him whilst he was here, and I saw what it did for him and what it did for his career and what it did for him as a person. He obviously played very well here. That's great. That's all well and good. But he also really enjoyed his life. He really enjoyed his relationship with you guys, and you guys are proud of him. He's super proud of you, and it's something that if I can get even a smidgen of what he did, then it'd be a great couple of years for me.
No conversations to be had. I was either coming to do something properly, whatever that may be, or I wasn't. And it turned out that I was, and I have, and this is what I've done, and this is how I wanted to do it, and I've loved it. Loved being here, loved being part of this. I was promised that this is the kind of club, like literally everyone who knows me said, look, even if obviously you can't go in chucking 2 in every week, people will turn on you, but when they see how you are and what you are and how you represent things, they'll buy into it, and people, that's why, whether I do well or not, I feel like people kind of get who and what I am, and that's more important to me than anything.
Yeah.
That was Joe Hart in one of his final interviews with Celtic TV. But I completely agree with this comment. Once after the Munich game, Celtic just the wheels fell off. Yeah, we sealed the title against Dundee at Tannadice, but the football hasn't been at the levels. Like, as I said last night, that win against Kilmarnock felt special. It felt like, we could be looking back at that title or that victory at the end of the season saying that was probably one of the most important victories of the season. But there's a lot of football to be played. A lot of football, we were talking about Callum McGregor's position. Callum McGregor is more effective pushing forward. We just don't have anyone that we can play in that role. We could play Oxlade-Chamberlain as a defensive mid. He's played there at his previous club for Besiktas. But McGregor is more effective, because we see what McGregor can do. He can hit it. He can hit it. But he's just, I think he's the captain, yeah, and there's a lot of responsibility. But sometimes I just don't think he gets enough support from the other midfielders. Doesn't get enough, players that hungry to take the ball from him and take a run. We really need a number 6. At times, I would say I'd like to have Near Beaton as a backup, so we can actually push McGregor up. But we don't have a defensive midfielder, bar McGregor, and that's quite worrying. Like, you should have, every team should have a defensive midfielder as a backup. Like, we should kept Awate. At least Awate could have done that role, push McGregor up. A couple of years ago, he couldn't get away with it because Greg Taylor was inadvertent. Yeah, he was doing that role, and McGregor was pushing up, and he was doing that under Rodgers. When Rodgers came in, he was doing that role. Taylor was, but I miss Taylor. Speaking of Taylor, there's Taylor there. An old flag which I found tonight. Found in the cupboard. Good times. Got that in Gallagher's bar in Glasgow when I was at Gallagher's in town. Now, obviously, they moved to the Squirrel, but good times. Good day. That was when we won. That was when we won the treble against Inverness. Oh, that was a nice sunny day. Taylor was brilliant. Taylor was brilliant on the Ange. I doubted him as a player under Lenny. Thought he wasn't at the level. Thought he couldn't defend. Couldn't header the ball. He couldn't get up the pitch. But he was outstanding. You look at the game at Tynecastle when he scored the winner. Taylor was really good. Times people didn't. He wasn't good in Europe, but domestically, he was pretty decent. I'm not saying Greg Taylor is or was the answer, but I'm just saying that he did in the midfield that allowed McGregor more freedom to be forward and less responsibility. I agree with you. 100% agree with you. Because I remember it was a game against Livingston away, and Taylor was playing that averted role a lot in the game. I think it was against St. Johnstone away. I think it was the game that Giakoumakis scored. Could be wrong, because I think Bernabé came on in that game. But Taylor was playing a lot in that role. Could be wrong. You can correct me if you want. Bernabé obviously got the assist, and Giakoumakis was a late winner. But Taylor did have a massive part. Like, he was. Funny enough, he has me blocked on Instagram. I think back in 2020, I had a moan about performance, and he blocked me page. But he opened up about his move, and he was right to move to Greece. He was right to move. Like, why would if you were playing as first team player, and that you came in to replace a particular player 5-6 years ago, and that player is coming back, and you're going to be dumped on the bench, and you're only going to get particular games, would you feel like you need a move for your own career? Of course. And best thing you done. It just made the defence to midfield dysfunctional. I thought we were all right. Like, under Ange, we didn't concede as much goals compared to what we're doing under managers since, like under Brendan. And fair enough, we when Martin came back, our clean sheet was pretty decent, but we're still leaking goals left, right, and centre. Like, look at the weekend. Like, the weekend was just brutal. But I really need to get a defensive midfielder. It should be top priority, because I'd say, to be honest with you, I say this is McGregor's last season coming up, playing a full sweep of games, because I don't think he should be playing 90 minutes a game anyway, Callum McGregor, especially when you're playing matches every 3 or 4 days, Scotland had a left-back injury crisis at one point, and Clark, who knows him inside out, decided to play him right back. Yeah, because was he not playing? Was he not playing right back and Robinson was, or Tierney was playing left back and Robinson was playing left back, or Hickey or something like that? Should be moved up. He can't defend. Exactly, he can't defend. He can't. And that's the problem with Celtic. I don't think we have the players physically afraid. Like, I think sometimes we get bullied off the ball, especially in derby days. Rangers look up more up for it because they're controlling the midfield. And if you lose that midfield battle, the pressure is going to be on you. So we need to go to Ibrox next week and actually take the game to them. But we have Hibs to contest first, and Hibs are not going to be an easy game. Hibs would be up for it. Hibs, I think Hibs are Hibs 5th in the table. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at Hibs' recent form. They have won 2 games in the last 5. Hibs have. Obviously losing an Edinburgh derby in there as well. So let's see. They beat St Mirren 2-0. They lost to Hibs 1-0 in the dying embers of the game. They beat Dundee United 3-2, drew to Rangers 0-0, and then lose to Falkirk 4-1. So they're 5th in the table. Two wins and 5 points off the Well, and the Well have a game in hand. 3 points ahead of Falkirk in 6th. I think Hibs will be pushing to get that 5th spot, to cement the 5th spot. I don't think they're going to catch up on Motherwell, to be honest, which is, like, it's always a difficult game against Hibs, home or away, you know. So I'm saying it right now, I'd be happy to take a 1-0 against them. Really glad Ange ruled himself out of the Celtic job on the overlap interview. To be honest with him, he's better off because, yes, he knows some of these players, but coming back into that environment and dealing with that board, why would you bother? Make Ox the captain. McGregor will shit himself when he goes to Ibrox. Oh, I think that's a big call, Stewie, but we'll see what happens. You know, he's not going to give Oxlade-Chamberlain the captaincy over a guy who's been the captain for the last 6 years. The guy's only in the door 2 weeks. Yes, he's a vast of experience playing for Liverpool and Arsenal and Besiktas and Southampton. Ange made a good name for himself. There's not a chance of risk of him coming back. That's it. Don't want to ruin your legacy. This is the problem. Comes back to Celtic, has a bad campaign. People are going to forget about the good times. Like that time, you know? All them good times. Can he be arsed with Carl Mack fingers pointing when shit hits the fan? We just need to back your captain. Yes, he's not been the most comprehensive captain this season. And yet all the passion at Rugby Park was good, but that was for the cameras. We got to see the nitty-gritty side. Oh, it's good to see you back in, Mark. Great to see you back in from last night. Plus, we don't have the players, Ange, from the league where we can grab the best players again. Because Ange was quite good with the recruitment, especially the Japanese market. We could honestly be in for a very few years upcoming. That's why I put up earlier on. I know you're only probably joining now. This is quite concerning. This right here, I'm going to put on the screen. So that's if Celtic win the league, they'll get Champions League, 2nd round qualification. If we finish 2nd or 3rd, we're going to be playing the Conference League. The only way, if we were to have, just say we finish 2nd or 3rd, and we win the Scottish Cup, we're into Europa League qualifier, the first qualifier. Financially, that's shit for Celtic. There's a lot of money to be lost, and this is what I've been saying week in and week out. The board might be tapping each other on the back, saying the money's being used for a rainy day. It's going to hit them in the pocket this summer. And I don't blame you being worried about it. You know, we'd struggle in the conference anyway at this rate, 100%. We just don't have the squad. We just don't have the capability. The players are just all over the shop. Taneki thinks he's fucking Cristiano Ronaldo. Yang is trying. Forrest is at his final days. He's not the super sub he once was. Bernardo wants a move. He's done in. Rio Tate's checked out. Maeda is fucking chasing shadows. He's not arsed. You know, Ralston's is done. Donovan is upcoming. Johnson's still injured. Carter Vickers spends more time being injured, collecting 37 grand a week. Scales' confidence is shot. Trusty's fucking only turns up when we're playing against teams in Italy. You know, it's just Tierney's half the player he was. It's the signs are there. We have a keeper that's fucking stuffed, that can't even dive. As someone said last night, goes down like installments. So top books for this shambles, only a fill. But look, that's what you were dealing with. So we need to win this league. And be honest, we probably won't even get into the Champions League. That's the God honest truth. And you know what they'll do? Whoever renews their season book won't be getting these Champions League qualifications if we win the league. That won't be on your season book. You'd be still paying full whack or a some sort of discount rate. They don't care about you. They'll be trying to milk the cash back. Was that squad worth? What squad? Stuttgart? The Stuttgart squad? I don't know. I can check for you. I can check the Celtic squad's valuation. Let me see. We can check the Celtic squad now and see how much it's worth. Won't be near 600 million anyway. What's your squad worth? A full valuation of your squad. Oh Jesus, trying to find it here. Doesn't do in detailed. Can't be arsed trying to find this now. I'll be here all day trying to find. I'll do 143 million valuation of our squad. That's what it's worth. You know. I'm on about Ange's team of Spurs. Don't know. Never checked into it, to be honest with you, on a Premo. Even the Champions League too, for actual champions. But that's it. Like, it's down to the hoopsaholic. It's down to the poor performances as Scottish teams in UEFA competitions. The coefficient has dropped. Tottenham squad's worth 854 million. It's madness, isn't it? Players are overrated in English football. Well overrated. So you're dealing with it against. Right, folks, I am going to jump off. It's been a good hour and 20 minutes chatting to you. May seem very repetitive towards last night, but I will be back on to talk about Hibs tomorrow. I'll try just do a 45-minute one tomorrow. If any news breaks overnight or in the morning, I'm going to talk about the statement as well Brian Wilson put out tonight. I'll talk about that tomorrow as well on the channel. But look, let's just move on from Stuttgart and move forward, and hopefully we could try to get this guy in the summer as well. I'll talk about him in more depth tomorrow as well. But do subscribe to the channel. I'm glad you enjoyed it. If you want to buy the membership for 99 pence, it's there as well. Be really appreciated if you do buy it. We have got 2 members already. Taxi for Desmond to Barbados. You could just stay over there permanently. Surely, but speaking of boycotts, he boycotts the AGMs every year anyway. So I don't watch any English football. I don't blame you. I honestly don't blame you. But anyways, I'm gonna go, folks. Thanks very much for tuning in. Pleasure. Do subscribe. Speak to you all soon.